Tony, and if you're watching this video later on, you are watching a completely uh, live video. There's just no other way to say it. So if there's any goof ups, mistakes, crazy things that happen, I apologize, but that's the way it goes. Y'all, I am a complete coffee geek. If you haven't watched any of my videos and this is your first time, there's just no other way to say it. I am definitely a crazy home barista who thinks about coffee probably way too much than I should, but that's okay. 20 some years ago, I was a barista in college. A lot of y'all we have this. You get a coffee job. I can't talk today. You get a part-time job as a kid while you're in college to help support yourself, and then you never realize that something like that could become like such a big passion in your life. And guys, that's what happened to me. I got the coffee bug. Hey, good afternoon, Justin. And I just love coffee. There's no other way to say it. In my day job, I'm not a coffee professional. I'm an insurance guy. I actually run a commercial insurance team that's national. And I actually write insurance for a lot of cafes and businesses, like restaurants and stuff. So I love this business. And if you are a coffee geek like me, you are definitely amongst friends. I guess I'm just being long winded in saying that. There's just no other way to say it. So, hey guys, I don't really have a lot of stuff planned out, but what I wanted to do was just kind of make some coffee. It's 12 o'clock my time on the East Coast, and I'm in Florida, and it's the Sunshine State, and I haven't had my coffee, and y'all, I need a coffee break. So I thought I'm gonna impromptu go live and hang out with you guys. So I have been able to do some really cool reviews lately. One of my favorite reviews I got to do was on this grinder right here. So this is the Hanyu grinder. It's a 64 millimeter flat burr variable speed grinder. It's the cousin of kind of the DF64 line. It looks very familiar to the SD. In different parts of the world, it's called different things. So the Guerrero is one of the names it goes by. The iTop is one that goes by, but it uses 64 millimeter flat burrs to grind for coffee. And y'all, this thing is an espresso beast. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have been using this even more since my review, and I've fallen more in love with it. Price wise, it was at 300 on Amazon. It's gone to 389 now, but even at 389, it's a pretty good price for what it is. So, but yeah, I'm probably going to be using this today, and then I'm also going to be pulling some shots with kind of a good old faithful. I'm using Lavanza Super Crema. I realize I've been just pulling a lot of shots lately, and I kind of needed a good old faithful to fill the coffee corner here. And I got this really awesome uh, vacuum sealed coffee vessel here. And I thought if I'm going to fill this up with a lot, I'm going to go with something like a good classic. So today we're going to be doing that. I also have a couple more uh, beans that I'm going to be doing reviews on here pretty soon. This is Life Boost. This is a low acid, no GMO, a lot of good stuff, a lot of good health benefits from it. My wife is a cancer survivor, and she has gut issues. I hope she doesn't care that I'm saying this. She is a cancer survivor, and she had pediatric cancer. She was a Make-A-Wish child. I don't really share that often. Um, Kind of the backstory is with that. Her parents were told to go buy a casket and that she was going to pass away. And she was told this three times, y'all, in her life until she became in her mid-teens. She had leukemia, and she literally, hey, Alexis, um, she literally lived in the hospital for like 2 years at a time. Like it was crazy. And she, like I said, was a Make-A-Wish kid. She got a wish to go to Disney. She got to be in the carriage ride with Cinderella and all that. It's beautiful. If you can support pediatric cancer, please do. It's such an amazing cause. Here's the bright story, guys. As she got healed, and she's obviously she's my wife. Been married for over 20 years. Oh, well, almost 20 years. Losing count here. It's 19 right now. Uh, she was a celebrity tour guide at Disneyland. She actually was a personal uh, concierge to the stars, and she got to work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And as a college student, she actually got to help Make-A-Wish kids a lot. So, kind of cool stuff. But anyway, all that to be said, sometimes she has some health issues when it comes to high acid things, and we thought we'd try this out. So I'm stoked. That's going to be something, a future video. Also, guys, I do have other couple things that I cannot wait to make some videos on. Check this out, y'all. This will be a future video. This is the Nano Basket Plus for the Outen, and I'm going to be doing a full Outen video here. So that should be really cool. So make sure that you like, you subscribe, you know, all that good fun YouTubery stuff, so you could see when those videos come out. I recently did a video on this really cool mobile unit by Me Coffee. I'm a huge fan of what Me Coffee does in their grinders. This uses a 51 millimeter basket, and you could replace your own baskets with it. So the Espresso Geek in me has been really happy about this. The Outen tends to be the most popular option that everyone really loves. So I'm really excited. Yeah, man. Hey, dude, I am so thankful when the brands reach out and folks send stuff, because trust me, guys, I would not be able to do this if that wasn't the case. There's just no other way to say it. But yeah, I have that one coming up. What else do I have? I have some. Oh, yeah, I might have another grinder coming, guys. So I'm excited about that. I'm crossing my fingers that that will happen, because yeah, I don't want to give too much away. But I might have something as it's another DF style cousin. So yeah, I'm super stoked. Guys, Han did a really great video the other day about the difference between flat and conical burrs in espresso. And I love Han. His channel is just one of my absolute favorites. If you guys aren't subscribed to him, please go subscribe to him, because Han is the master at coffee. There's no other way to say it. I get so much value of the community he's built and talking to people about coffee. You know, I just am a huge fan. So definitely, please go check out his videos and his channel, because trust me, I've learned so much from him. He was talking about the difference between conical and flat in espresso. So y'all know this. I don't think it's a secret. I love espresso. Espresso is my jam. You know, like, I'm cool with pour overs, and for a long time, I've shared this with you guys before. This thing is really cool. All I did was pour overs, you know, for years. And I did AeroPress and V60 and everything. And it wasn't until my wife finally said, stop, like, talking about espresso machines, because I was fixated that oh man, this thing is going off. Like, it's trying to create, turn that off. Freaked me out there. You know, for years I was just trying to figure out, you know, like, what I was gonna do, what was my game plan. I was watching all these videos for years, like, kind of stupid, yeah, and not pulling the trigger. You know, I was just like, wow, you know, I thought that I had to have a $2,000 dual boiler machine to make good coffee at home. And guys, I was totally wrong. And I'm glad, you know, a year ago or so, my wife kind of woke me up. Just because there's so much stuff y'all can do. And that's what I love. I love finding stuff that can be a budget and a cheaper way to do it. All right, cool. Let me go ahead and put this back on and activate it. There we go. Dig it. Hey, if anyone has any good suggestions on vacuum sealed containers like this, let me know. This one I think is going for about $30 or so on Amazon. Pretty stoked to have this, but I like this. I might have to get another one. It's all glass too. But yeah, cool. As you guys can tell, I need my coffee. But he was talking about, you know, the difference between conical and flat. And I think that's kind of a big thing. That's a question I get all the time where someone's asking me what type of grinder should they get. And I think it's a fair question. This kind of sum it up. I think the answer is if your life is only espresso and espresso is your heart's desire, then conical could be the way to go. I think that conical is definitely more forgiving, but I will say this. I think flat is more precise. That's my personal opinion. I think flat can be more precise, and I think with different burr sets, you could really make different things happen. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having flat or conical. You could be like me, have both. I think if you find a budget option in one of those categories, you're golden. That's what I think personally. Oh yeah, look at that jar of espresso. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's if you didn't catch it in the beginning, that's Lavanza. That's super crema that's in there. It seems really cool. I just got this system. I've never used it before, but it seems like it's doing a pretty good job. And I'm not really having any linkage with it. I mean, I've got stuff like this before where the moment I hit the vacuum, you would go like this and you could kind of feel some pressure coming off. This one seems pretty steady. So if you guys want me to do a full review video on it at some point, I will. I've thought about getting a couple of those. Okay, so I am using, like I mentioned, the Hanyu 64 flat burr grinder, and this is the one with the blind burrs, so it doesn't have the holes in it for the burrs. It's with smooth burr surface. I really want to see someone do a test, and if anyone knows of a good YouTube video on there where they've tested the two, or maybe I should make one. These are HU style. The burr set that I have in my Macomb are stock, and those are also HU style. Maybe I need to do that. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on. I'm actually going to go a little bit finer than what I did last time. I just did a video on an all-in-one machine, the Avigator. The thing's pretty cool. It is plastic, and it looks like it should be metal, but it's a pretty fancy pants design. I think if you were a beginner and you wanted something that was all-in-one, I think it'd be a pretty cool way to go. Just to let y'all know, if anyone ever gets interested in that, I did find it for cheaper just recently. For some reason, the seller has it listed 2 times. One is just a lot cheaper. So I'm going to try to update the link on that one. All right, cool. All right, guys, and I am going to be brewing this today. This is an ICAP porterfilter with my MH Bomber basket. I need to get a new basket. But I wanted to show you guys this. This is a new handle. This is a Normcore handle. And I think they did a really good job. Right now on Amazon, this thing is going for 12 bucks. And I think it was usually like 20 or 24. Yeah, I think it's 24. It's like 50% off. It feels really good in the hand. Definitely awesome. Okay. Here we go. Awesome. So again, 18 grams. Let's give it a little shake here. Yeah, I'm digging the catch cup because it has a really good seal, and I could really give it a good shake. Let's see how this works. I'm kind of curious with these Lavanza. I haven't done a video yet, other than using them the other. Well, I guess I did use them the other day, but this is really kind of more me kind of playing around with these Lavanzas with y'all. I've got them before in the past, and I was really happy because these are an 80-20 split. So it's 80% Arabica, 20% Robusta. And I dig that. I'm a huge Robusta fan. I love that classic Italian coffee. And the Lavanza, I mean, they're a standard bearer. I mean, I love my specialty coffee. I'm always going to grab my single origin stuff, but sometimes at the end of the day, maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm just not part of the hip generation. Y'all, I'm in my mid-40s. Maybe I'm just like waxing poetic about the old stuff. Oh my goodness. Nice, right? Looks clean. Little puck screen up top. Let's do this first pull. Oh, don't move. There we go. All right. All right, let's see here. Yeah, my wife was asking me the other day if I was happy with this Gemini that I have here. Um, and guys, I am really stoked. I love it when brands reach out and will send me something to do a review on. Because, I'm pretty frugal. In case you guys haven't figured that out, I'm pretty cheap about some stuff. But when I buy something, I really do a lot of research. And this is version 1. My only regret is not getting version 2 from someone like Me Coffee or Espresso Outlet. But I'm going to be honest, the shots I've been pulling on this thing are so good. I cannot not recommend it, especially if you guys see these cheaper. They've been on Amazon for about 400, and I've seen them in Ollie, which I don't always recommend Ollie. Go for even lower than that. This is such a... Oh, hit the wrong button. Sorry, guys. This is such a great machine. It has the boiler. It has the hybrid system with the steam wand. I cannot stop recommending it. All right, let's see how we did when it comes to the grind size. I hope I didn't go too fine. No, I think I'm good. Nice. So this does not have an OPV, and I tend to pull right about a 12, and sometimes I'll see it go down to about a 9. It looks good, though. I'm digging that. 23 and 22. I'll stop it right about 30. 31 and 25 seconds. Classic 1 to 2. I will take that, y'all. I will take that. I'm not going to argue with that for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and give this one a try. I feel like this is my first time giving the proper try on a very true and tried machine. Okay. Here's for the standard bearer. Nice Crema. Very nice Crema. There we go. Let's give this a little test on the refractometer. Nice. 13.66. So let me go ahead and show y'all. 13.66. I will take that, my friends. That's really good. That's right where I tend to like to be, right above 12. Let's give it a little taste. Tasted my first coffee today. Oh, I needed this. You ever just really need that coffee break? Oh man, that is delicious. Oh, good milk chocolate. Definitely cinnamon. Very, very strong cinnamon undertones. Very classic Italiana. Italiano, for sure. Man, that is delicious. Wow. Wow. Y'all, I wish I could send this to you guys right now. Okay. So again, this was on the Hanyu over here. This is the 64 flat burr blind burrs HU style. The cool thing is this thing comes stocked with titanium burrs. They are not SSP. They are definitely generic burrs, but it's the good stuff, It's definitely the good stuff, and I've been stoked with the results. This has been killer. I'm telling you guys, I've been so happy with it. When I first got it, I had to really fiddle with it and kind of play around with it because the collar was all off. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the exact same beans on my multi-purpose setup here. So this is my Chardor 64 millimeter flat burr grinder. And this is the one that I think everyone famously has been checking out lately. This is the budget king in my opinion. That used to be the DF64, and the DF64 still rocks, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, I have been jonesing to get a DF64 for the last 2 years. Even before I bought my first espresso machine, I knew what a DF64 was, and I was looking into it. I have not bought, I will admit this, I have not bought a DF64 because, like I said, I'm crazy frugal. I'm pretty cheap with my own money. And when I spend money on myself and not my kiddo or my wife, I don't know. Maybe it's dad guilt or something, you know. I think I could buy them something, so I don't get enough for myself when it comes to coffee. Um, but anyway, I really think that the DF64, this is like the market disruptor, even when it comes to that. At this price point, it's nuts. So, guys, I've said this before. Since I put the multi-purpose burrs, my True Zero tends to be more about a 5. I'm going to try to do this one at about a 20 or about 17. I'm going to go fine. I'd rather go fine with it and get where I need to be. With Italian beans like this, finer tends to be the better way to go, in my opinion, because Lavanza this is a pretty good bag. But the one thing I'm always going to say about something like this, I think of Super Crema as almost like a good house blend. Have you ever gotten to a cafe and you ask for espresso? They don't really ask what type of espresso you want, and they just give you a shot of something. That's their house blend. You know, that's their house coffee. And that's kind of how I think of Lavanza. You know, Lavanza tends to be kind of more like a standard bearer. You know, it's popular. You're going to get it or in the world, anywhere in the world. Go to any supermarket. And I was just trying to see. You're not going to see a roast date on here, but I know there's the sale by date. I was just trying to find it. I might have cut it off by accident. No, it's right here. You're going to see the sale by date, and generally with this one is by basically manufacture date. Well, that's kind of cool. So 7/24. So think about it. They do a pretty good job at sealing these, but if they manufacture this at 7/24, that's really probably the roast time. And you know, we're in September. So these are already 3-month-old commodity style supermarket beans. And you know, there's not anything wrong with that. I've said this to you guys before. I'm an espresso geek, not an espresso snob or coffee snob. You know, I am very frugal. So I could never afford to be a snob. So I'm always going to find kind of the cheapest way to do something that still tastes really good. But anyway, I'm saying that because they're older. Let's kind of get to the point. They're older. So because they're older beans, you're definitely going to have to go finer. So that's my viewpoint. Try to go to that point where it's going to be fine. So we just tasted the HU style. Let's go ahead. Let's see how multi-purpose treats the Lavanza. Okay. Here we go. Oh, nice. There we go. Cool. All right. Again, let's use this canister. I'm going to do 18 grams. I'm going to use the exact same basket, just so it's kind of a comparison. Wow, this thing just turns on automatically. Okay. Yeah, I can already feel that Robusta caffeine in me. Oh my goodness. Okay. Go ahead and turn this back on. Love this. That's so cool. Guys, I usually don't put my stuff in a jar like this just because I go through coffee crazy fast. When I do these live shows with y'all, you know, I'm going through a lot of coffee. Okay. All right, it's got our 18 grams. Let's turn on our grinder. I hope I'm good. This is always the thing. The cool thing about using beans like this, I don't feel so guilty if I need to throw it out. Not so much. For 14, 15 bucks to get a pound and a half. Whoa, yeah, that's good. Nice. Wow, that smells delicious. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this batch. This goes a lot slower once you do an upgrade because, again, the RPM is designed for that standard, HU kind of style of brewer. Let's see here. Just making sure. Very curious how this is going to be. So the one thing I'll kind of address to guys, and I've been getting a lot of questions about stuff like this. Every now and then I do a video on a grinder like the Chardor. And every now and then someone will leave a comment and they're like, hey, but that thing is plastic. The only thing I'm going to say, guys, is just remember when you're going with budget, that's what you're going to get. I know that sounds weird. I love having an all metal build and something built like a tank. I want that all metal build. Trust me. If we could all get that all the time, that would be the way to go. But when it comes down to something that's a cost saver, I'm not going to really fuss over that. And I kind of say that out there because, like I said, I've gotten that comment quite a few times, and I get it. But definitely do your research before you buy something. Find out what it's built. Make sure it's good and what you like. Because, sometimes, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a good standard. But you got to think about, does the performance on this, a lot of times people will even bring up stuff like longevity. And I think that's a very important topic. But at that price point, I can't really argue with it. For me, that's what's kind of worth it. There's just no other way to say it. If not, I would have probably an Italian grinder sitting right here, or I would have at least a DF line grinder, I think that's kind of the big thing. I think it's about making sure you have the right expectations. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's try this out. And my expectations are, I almost tamper them and then see how it comes out. To use a coffee pun. All right, cool. Let's go ahead. He seemed pretty fine. Hope I didn't go too fine. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely feel it here. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Just making sure we're nice and uniformed. Okay. Let's do the distribution. And I'm going to try this one with a timer tamper. Show you guys a smooth one. I've been digging this timer tamper. I prefer the shorty though. Okay. All right, let's see if I went too fine, because I think that's a big possibility. Sorry guys, my usual tripod, I broke it. So I'm using kind of a more hefty tripod, but it's a little slower to move around. Okay. Yeah, I hate breaking stuff, but it does happen. Okay, guys, let's see how we did. Too fine. I could tell immediately. Oh, bummer. Whoa, goodness. Bummer. That's okay. That's all good. Like I said, I'd rather have pushed it a little bit and went too fine than, the opposite. There's just no other way to say it. Oh, that is dirtiness. Yep. And guys, I'm using my Hanyu portafilter cleaner off camera. it's been really cool to have it. Would I probably have bought it myself? Price tag is pretty hefty, but those portafilter cleaners, y'all, they're pretty expensive. There's no other way to say it. Those things are about $300 a piece. I'm really glad they sent it to me to do the review on it. But they're definitely something I'd recommend if you had a small coffee business or if you are just pulling crazy amounts of shots. Kind of doing these live videos, I do, so it's nice. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I go through too much coffee, y'all. Like way too much coffee. Shared this with you guys before. This is my home office, and I was doing a meeting a couple weeks ago. Somebody saw my background, and they could see all the espresso machines and grinders, and they're like, "Are you running a cafe in your house?" I'm like, "Kind of." And they're like, "Kind of." I'm like, "Well, I explained the YouTube channel, and they're like, "That's pretty cool." Kind of. Oh, goodness. Okay. Just making sure the cup was clean. Put this back up here. And rinse and repeat, so to speak. Just get it done right. So as far as grinder goes, I know that was way too fine. So I'm actually going to go overcorrect a tiny bit. I hope it's not a true overcorrection, but basically, again, when you put in your burrs are going to be at a different 0 point. So it doesn't really make sense to me to say every time this is where I'm at. But basically, I'm over 30. So probably about a 25 if it was the regular burrs. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I did. I have the Hanyu electric portafilter cleaner scraper thing. It's awesome. I mean, it has 1.5 liters, and I've almost filled it up. I gotta clean it out, just because I've been doing a lot of videos. So the thing's pretty cool. Like I am actually really impressed with it. Like I mentioned, if I had a business or something, if I was having a mobile coffee cart, I would definitely think about buying one because they're super compact and it is a time saver. I've seen a lot of systems where these companies will build it into the mobile coffee cart. And if anyone's ever interested on that type of stuff, please go to Espresso Outlet and make sure you're subscribed to their channel. The gentleman over at Espresso Outlet, oh, I cannot believe I just forgot his name. He has a coffee business as well as doing that, and his videos are epic, especially for those who have been thinking about doing that. I've really am at a point where I have really thought about investing in a mobile coffee unit. I've shared this with you guys before. I don't know if I would do it for profit. I've actually thought about setting up as a not-for-profit. And I've said this before, I think, in other videos, guys. Back in the day, I was a pastor, and you know, um, giving back to the community is a really big part of what I did. I worked with homeless shelters all throughout New York City, Los Angeles. I've worked with the Union Rescue Mission in multiple locations. I've worked with the Salvation Army and other people like that, other great organizations out there with drug rehabilitation and working in the community. And I've talked to my wife about it for a long time. I definitely going to pray and think about it, but I would like to eventually get something like that started. I have a friend who runs a food truck up in Rochester, New York, that isn't necessarily for folks who are just not homed, but goes out to the community and helps feed communities that need help. And I've always thought about it would be a really great thing to have a coffee cart like that, that at no cost or low cost or something, or just do it completely for free and give resources, would be a really cool thing. There's just no other way to say it. And I really am looking into it. I've thought about it, you know, be a cool business to have, but I don't know if I'd want to do it as a business. But that's something, thoughts. Definitely rolling through my head about that one. It's a great thing to give back to the community. I grew up uh, a person who, I don't really share this too often on my channel. Don't get too deep. But the truth is, my dad was incarcerated for 9 years. And, oh, there we go. Uh, it changed my perspective on a lot of things in life. Let's just put it that way. I'm very thankful for learning some of the lessons I got to learn at a really early age, because it kept me on the straight and narrow. And my life is completely different than my father's. There's no other way to say that. All right, let's see. Almost there, I could tell. Yep, I think we're good. Yeah, Pops did 8 to 9 years. I forget the exact time, incarcerated. And as a kid, when you're visiting your parent in a situation like that, you ever watch those shows back in the day where it'd be like Scared Straight? Teaching kids in the inner city like not to do the right or how to do the right thing. That was my life. So I went to college, kept my nose completely on the straight and narrow, and was involved in a lot of cool stuff. But I say that because I think it's super important to help support stuff like that. I am not a full time person in that capacity anymore. It's a big part of my coffee journey because I worked with a lot of great cafes uh, to get product, food, coffee delivered to the homeless, all that good stuff. Um, but yeah, one day maybe, one day. Maybe that'll be my retirement gig. That's what I tell my wife. Maybe that's what we'll do in a retirement. Okay. Oops. There we go. Let's go ahead and get this one worked up here. Yeah, this Hanu's been awesome. But let's compare it. Let's do a little comparison. There we go. All right, so let's do some WDT. There we go. I think we're good. How long do y'all do your WDT for? I've always kind of wondered that. Am I going too much? Am I going too little? I've always kind of wondered what the average is that people spend doing the WDT. I always try to until I kind of fill it in the right spot. But I'm always curious, is there something that everyone recommends? There we go. And let's do the other tamper on this one. Clean that up. Looks good. And guys, I do have my 2 giant baskets I'm going to be doing videos on pretty soon. My step down baskets. Gaffad Ollie. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's zero this out. Okay, and let's do this pool. Okay. See how we did. Come on, I want to see some droplets. There we go. Yes. It's not going to stall. I'm not going to choke the machine. It is going slower than even what I thought it would be. This is the difference, I'm telling you right now, between this and that. I do find that the multi-purpose burrs are not as forgiving. But I do think sometimes it's worth it. So this is definitely a longer shot, 24 and 35. Let's stop it right about here. It's 31 and 40. Again, not perfect. Definitely by far not perfect, but I'll take that. And I still think this is going to be a good barometer of what it's like between the two. So let's go ahead and try this. Good crema on this one. Definitely a little bit of a shorter shot. I'm expecting this extraction is going to be way higher. Unless I'm totally wrong, which happens all the time. All right. Wow. Okay. I wouldn't say crazy way higher, but it definitely higher like I expected. 14.96. 14.96. I think the other one was about 13, if I can remember right. About 13. Let's give it a little taste, because that's what it all counts. Look, here you go. Nice, right? I like that. Okay. Way more clarity. Oh my goodness. Y'all, that is a difference. So for the shot from the HU, a lot more punch. Just boom. Traditional espresso, better mouthfeel. But multi-purpose, you could definitely feel way smoother, more clarity. So it's kind of like, what's the dragon you're hunting down? Are you hunting down that classic espresso taste, or are you hunting down so good I had to finish it? Something new and something clean and with clarity. Oh, cool. I'm reading your comment, Justin. WT better longer than not long enough. I agree with you, man. Totally. And that's kind of, sometimes I think I'm like, am I overthinking this? Am I overdoing it? But hey, I'm glad you said that, because that honestly makes me feel a little bit better. But yeah, guys, wow, what a difference. So I have the multi-purpose in the Charter 64. And then, guys, I definitely have my order confirmed. I'm so excited. I am literally waiting and watching my tracking, and I want to tell you all how long it is until I get it. But I will be getting the LeBrew Sweet Burrs 64 with the 3 holes. I'm going to put it right here in this grinder. So the Macomb is going to have the Sweet Burrs in there. The Hanyu is going to have the HU style titanium blind burrs. So, I've said this before on some of my videos. I'm trying to get the Burr trifecta, you know, uh, dare I say the Burr Trinity. Uh, Goodness gracious. But yeah, that's kind of the 3 sets of burrs. If anyone's new to espresso and you're watching this, that's kind of the main ones. You got your multi-purpose, you got your HU style, and then the sweet cast burrs. Um, I'm trying to remember what it was that where they first came from. The 83. But basically, the story goes is with the Caspers, they've SSP like kind of like re-engineered those burrs, and they started doing that. Well, LeBrew came in. Uh, oh man, how long has it been? I think not even that long. I think it's within this year. And guys, I could be completely wrong. Let me know in the comments below. But I think LeBrew uh, made those Caspers, or they're not cast. Excuse me, they're machined. The Sweet Burrs, I think they came out this year. So I haven't watched a lot of reviews on the Sweet Burrs, but for me, the price point is what attracted me. Basically, 99 bucks. If anyone needs a link, I'll put the link in the description. Um, I bought those with my money. They're not sending to me to do a review in any way, shape, or form. I really wanted to try it. I watched Asher talk about it from the Coffee Chronicler, and he was talking about it. I love his videos. Such a cool guy. Really nice gentleman. He answered a lot of questions I had about him, so that's really cool. Big shout out to him. But I pulled the trigger myself, guys. But I will share the link, because just like the Amazon stuff, if you guys use it, it's a little small percentage goes back to us. So that's pretty cool. Help me buy some beans. But yeah, guys, I'm super excited. I hope if I like these, I might replace this one, because these are my generics. So again, nothing wrong with generics. At least I don't think so. But I might. We'll see. Or I might just buy another grinder. Y'all, I hope you like this. This has been interesting, trying to try the two. Again, if you didn't catch it in the beginning of the video, I'm using kind of a house standard. This is Lavanza Super Crema. Uh, I had to fill this bad boy up, and I'm digging it. This is my new vacuum sealed container. I'm going to fill up this because the problem with these, I love these Lavanzas, and they tend to be, like I said, a good standard, especially if you're going to be making milk-based drinks. You know, my wife every now and then says, hey, make me a caramel, macchiato. Oh, turned on already. Don't do that. These are really good with that. I like I pull so many shots with y'all. I'm testing things all the time. So I figured I really needed a good kind of house coffee. Usually I have a canister over here that's not vacuum. That's just a regular canister, RTD2 guy. Cool, getting all the beans. But I thought I really need something that was better. So got this one off Amazon. And I'm digging it. Pretty cool. About 30 bucks. Let's see here. Hopefully I just didn't overfill it. Nope. We should be good. But yeah, let me know if you guys want a video on something like this later on. I thought about buying a couple of these and kind of testing them all out. But yeah. Kind of reminds me of the U's from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, that's a fun sound. It's probably because I have it on too tight. Oh, no. The seal's on all wonky over here. Let me open this up. Yeah, if you guys want me to do a video on a couple of these, I was thinking about getting a couple of them and trying them out. There we go. There we go. That's going to be better. Oh, my goodness gracious. Hey, guys, I hope you have a great day. Again, make sure you like and subscribe. I've got some good stuff coming out. Got the out-in video. Hopefully, cross my fingers on a new grinder. So I love that. I really appreciate you guys so much. The channel's grown a lot lately, and you guys, I'm telling you, I really appreciate it. It really means the world to me. And you guys, make sure that you follow me on Instagram too. If you want to DM me, you're always more than welcome. I love chatting with y'all, and I love seeing how you have your home setups. Hey, you guys have a great week. It's Friday. Don't tell anybody. The weekend's here. Have a good one.